Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so here we go. Aquarians, let's take a look at Aquarius starts out with their own card. I was going to say let's take a look at the kind of tree of life Celtic cross, and the center of everything, the heart of this story is going to be Aquarius, and it's Aquarius wishing upon their star. This bodes very well for Aquarius if they're asking for the things that would actually grace their life that are truly right for them. I bet you they're asking for something that is already tailor-made for their life path. We've got this Two of Pentacles and it's sideways. So this is what crosses it. We have balance. All of this, this isn't an obstacle or anything. This is kind of like exactly what Aquarius is asking for, is exactly what they should be asking for. Before we move forward, let me change decks real quick and ask, what is this? Because it's so perfectly matched with who Aquarius is, and it's so on their life path. Aquarius is asking for another option, a different avenue, something. Look, this Aquarius is very capable of having more than one lifestyle, or lots of times in life it's like, oh, this is what I do for a living, this is my identity. But in truth, we could all do more than one thing, right? And many of us will in our lifetimes. We live a good long life, plenty of time to learn and grow and change our opinions, and completely, we were a banker, now we want to be a farmer. Two totally different areas of life, two different lifestyles, but we can certainly achieve those things. Hang on, let's get another card here. Five of Swords in the reverse. I feel like Aquarius is asking for something that will shift their life, a new avenue that will absolutely squash any kind of drama, hostilities that they may have been dealing with. I feel like Aquarius knows this is not a good place for me if I am feeling like I have to defend myself all the time, or I'm feeling like this is an unpleasant environment. So universe, send me something else that is right for myself, that will create more balance in my life, more harmony in my life. Give me that other pathway. Okay, what's underneath all this? Even though I feel like that was a good answer. We have got the Five of Cups in the reverse. Aquarius says, I'm not here to suffer and be sad, and I am open to change, especially change for the positive. Why would I want to be anywhere where I would be unhappy? It's exactly what I don't want. Life is far too short to be unhappy. So universe, give me another option, because I know there's other options out there. In the recent past, we had a King of Swords upright. Hang on, let's get another card on that. So there was truth. This could be that 10 of Wands. This is Aquarius. In the recent past, Aquarius, whether they're a feminine or a masculine, they stepped into their yang energy, their masculine energy, and they made a decree. They consulted with their ancestor. They consulted with their book of life. They consulted with what they believe in within themselves. And they said, here's my truth. My truth is, I don't have to feel guilty that I don't want to be in the midst of drama. I think that this was Aquarius saying, I am allowed to choose something better for me. I shouldn't have to be where I am unhappy. I am allowed to say, I would like to exit, and universe, I would like you to show me another path that is, also part of my life path. I've learned my lessons here. And one of my lessons was, don't stay where every day is an argument and a struggle. I don't know if this was like Aquarius decided, I'm going to walk away from a relationship. I'm going to walk away. And this could be like a parent-child relationship. And Aquarius is like, I finally know I don't need to keep trying to fix a relationship with a parent. They're people. They're flawed. I don't need to carry wounds from my childhood. I can see them as people and not take on, old wounds anymore. But I would like to go ahead and perhaps, especially if I'm closing out a chapter, or if I'm not going to engage with somebody anymore, universe, give me another, thing for me to do to conquer my next, moment of growth. Because I feel like this is a big moment of growth for Aquarius. And it is that I don't need to be involved in drama. Okay, crowning all of this, we have got the Page of Cups. It is sideways. Crowning all of this with the Page of Cups, and the bigger thought process here, all of that is just, okay, I'm kind of ready for the next adventure. I don't need to say sorry. I don't need to get an apology. Maybe it just is what it is. This is not like, okay, I'm going to wait for somebody to say sorry and then I can forgive them. This is like, I pre-give the forgiveness if that's what I need to do. I don't know if that person will ever ask me for forgiveness. And maybe I'm sorry that whatever the situation was, we don't really need to go into the sorries and forgivenesses. Let's just let it be. I think this whole energy of, because I'm hearing that song, let it be, let it be. Seeking words of wisdom, let it be. Right, the Beatles. This feels so, I'm going to say there's an acceptance that not everything works out great, but that's all right. It'll be okay. Let me get one more here. The devil. There's been toxicity. There's been stuff that wasn't terrific. That's okay. Not everything in life is perfect. That's okay. Maybe if we can't get along, it's time to move along, right? If you can't get along, then move along. That's not the end of the world, no matter what the relationship was. It almost feels, sorry, my puppy doggy is really singing his songs. I don't know. I feel like Aquarius here, you did great, baby. Yeah, you did wonderful. You sang your songs. That's wonderful. Sorry, but I always celebrate him instead of punish him because, you did so good. You protected the mama. You protected everybody. You're a good boy of mine. What a good dog I have. This is Aries, if you don't already know. He is frequently going to be heard in the background. He is my best dog, my one and only. He's very special to me. And we have always had terrific dogs growing up, but he's actually the first dog I've ever raised from babyhood, and he's just mine. And so it's just a little different when you've had him since they were first born, and he's mine. And so I don't know, there's just something really, it's very bonded. So anyway, maybe that plays a role in this storyline, right? It almost feels as if Aquarius has learned, especially over a space of time, how to get more grounded, how to spend more energy talking to people where there can be, like productive conversations, and how to move on from things that are not so productive. It's all about like, look, we have limited resources, limited time, limited energy. So spend it where you can with the people that you can spend it with, that you're going to actually like find common ground with. Nothing wrong with that. This really makes light of even things that could be very heavy. Like it would not be fun or easy to have continual conflict, let's say with a family member, but recognizing maybe we don't get along. And instead of forcing ourselves to try to act like we're going to, or saying, oh my God, this is devastating, this is so painful, how come if we're related, we don't get along? It's more like, it's okay. I mean, in life, we're going to meet lots and lots of people that are not related to us. It'll be so near and dear to us. They'll feel like relatives. And to me, I personally think family is whomever I pick up and I carry in my heart. I don't care if I was blood relative to them or not. I feel like they can be so much of my family that I feel the same way about them that I would if we were blood relatives. There's not, I don't really see that as a necessary component, at least in my own life. And that's maybe the message that is coming out to me, at least. Again, maybe it's because of my own bias, but that's the message I see in this. Okay, let's get the upcoming future. So we have Justice and we have that Two of Swords. Look, it is very possible that this is the mega breakthrough that Aquarius has needed for a long time. Finally, it's like, oh my God, I feel like I got my own justice. I allowed myself to let go of somebody, or to let go of the idea that we're supposed to be working things out. Not everybody, even relatives, not even people that we love, will we actually be good with. And that's okay. It's okay to say, I love them, but man, we suck together. If it was like a relationship or a romantic partner, or, they're my family member, they're my parent, they're my sibling, whatever. But we actually don't have much in common and we really argue a lot. And so we finally kind of parted ways. And maybe that's not the ideal, but on the other hand, who's to say what ideal is? My life is calmer, more peaceful. I have my peace. I realized that I've got precious time to do things in life, and I'm going to use all my time to be productive, not to fight. So I really do feel like this is an amazing shift. Actually, let's stay with this deck for an outcome real quick. We have the Hierophant. This relationship has been a stumbling block for Aquarius to have the love of their life or to have a happier like partnership, marriage, something really big, really profound. Having conflict with whomever this one person has been, it provided this huge blockage, not provided, it created this huge blockage between Aquarius's, ability to have like this wonderful outcome. And maybe it was because they were always getting dragged into somebody's drama. Let me change decks here one more time and ask about, do I have one deck? Okay. Sorry, I wanted to make sure that I didn't pick up one of these in the other deck. Tell me about the Hierophant there for the outcome. See, with the owl here, I definitely feel like the ancestors are like cheering for Aquarius and their Nine of Pentacles. It's like, yes, see, Aquarius, you have your peace, you have your house by the cabin, by the lake. You've got this, your house by the cabin, your cabin by the lake, excuse me. You found your worth, your peace. You're not being bogged down by somebody else's dramas. You're not trying to fix relationships that maybe are not fixable because it's just two people that are too opposite. I get a real strong vibe that there could have been a parent that was jealous of Aquarius in this, and that relationship could have been messing up other relationships for Aquarius, including first and foremost the relationship with themselves. That's what this looks like to me first. Okay, tell me a little bit more about that Hierophant energy. Ten of Pentacles. I do feel like it was a big stumbling block for Aquarius to have like the love of their life, to have the abundance that they deserve, to really be in a meaningful connection where they and another partner could just totally like be each other's worlds and build a future. And this is all part of the upcoming future for Aquarius. I think Aquarius was like, this makes me think about this very first card a little bit different. I wonder if Aquarius was like sending up a little prayer like to the universe, like, universe, I really think that I need balance in my life. And I think what that's going to require me to do is accept the fact that I don't need to carry this burden anymore. Am I allowed to just release this? Can I just say, I don't need an apology and I don't need to try to change them? And I know we're toxic together. And I know that we don't get along well, even if it's a parent or, somebody near and dear to me where you would hope you wouldn't have that kind of relationship, but we do. So universe, is it okay if I just say, I don't want to fight with them anymore? I just want to accept them for who they are, accept the limitations of maybe who they could be to me in this life, give my own sense of peace. And can I just do that without feeling guilty? Can I just go ahead and move forward and plant seeds with other relationships and not worry too much about this anymore? And not feel bad about not worrying about it anymore. And I think the universe's response is like, let me show you how good life's about to get when you move away from someone who's always in conflict with you and you stop the fighting, and instead you build a great relationship with you and your personal value. And then you build a great relationship with, a lover, a person that you can really bond with, and you really start to come to the right door of your life, that door that leads you to the relationships the way you want them to be, instead of continuously banging your head, arguing with somebody, fighting with somebody, trying to make nice with a relationship that it's almost like not everything can be hammered out, and not all people are ever going to find a way to get along. It's just not going to be possible. But our life's goal is not to say, okay, well, I guess no matter how hard it is, no matter how many years I have to invest in fighting with them and make them this obstacle with them the center of my universe, that's not what I'm here to do. I don't have to spend years of my life and ignore my peace and ignore another relationship that I could have and build with a lover or a, other relationships in my life that would be so immensely satisfying. I don't have to say, well, I can't have those because I got to keep fighting with this one other person because, hey, we're family, and I always have to give them the most attention, the most consideration. Somehow that is just not required. This is, look, to me, this message is, I'm going to sound so callous if I say this, but the way I interpret this is, I believe, a good message of, just because we have certain people in our lives, we are not always going to get along with them. And I don't think it's the biggest tragedy of the world that we go, let's just agree that we don't agree and we don't get along, and let's go ahead and move forward and pick up people in our life that we do really mesh well with. And let's not feel guilty about the fact that we're going to move forward and have other relationships in our life. And it is, again, it really looks like that parent-child situation. And so I think that's where this could have been like a heavy guilt factor and a really difficult thing to be like, oh my God, how do I just, blow off a whole relationship? It doesn't mean that it's like, I'm never going to see this person again. Exactly. Although there may be significantly less interaction. But remember, what was amazing is, it's like, you don't have to say sorry for who you are, and I don't have to say sorry for who I am. We're just oil and water, and that's okay. We don't have to try to cohabitate in the same little tiny sphere when we don't cohabitate well. I'm going to move on and pick up other relationships in my life and devote myself to those other connections. And you can do the same, and it's okay. I just feel like this is such a relief. There's so much healing in this with that Four of Swords, so much healing. And I keep feeling like this relationship was a massive stumbling block that is no longer in the way. And now I think Aquarius can have the love of a lifetime, the happiness of a lifetime, the peace of a lifetime. They're a lot wiser now too. I really think this is, Aquarius was like doing some little prayer on this, or asking, can I do this? Am I allowed to do this? And all of this says, yep. So that is the story on this one for this fictional character, right? It just feels like such a breath of fresh air. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing.